Live and on demand from the WNY News Now studios in downtown Jamestown. This is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould.
And I'm Matt Hummel. Happening now, a city construction contractor was recently cited by OSHA. Details coming up.
Plus, a Jamestown woman is accused of punching a nurse in the face during an incident at UPMC Chautauqua Hospital, and the latest on a fatal crash here in Chautauqua County. But first, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter is live with a look at our weather. Hey, Dakota.
Hey, Justin and Matt, and happy Thursday, everybody. We're getting close to that weekend. Here's a live look coming from Presque Isle Beach, and it is windy out there today. You can see the camera shaking a little bit in the wind, and also the trees moving down there. West-southwest wind of 14 is the current wind there, and the winds are going to be breezy throughout the day today. It's not going to be totally, it's not going to be very strong enough to where it's going to cause damage, but it's going to be a hang on to your hats kind of day. Here is the radar on a 5-hour time lapse. You can see the rain that moved through this morning. It's only been a little bit of rain, but it hasn't been a whole lot of rain. But of course, that came overnight tonight and then throughout the morning hours this morning. So hour by hour, temperatures at least will respond to some partial cloud breaks in the afternoon, mid to upper 60s for most areas. Inland valleys likely lower 60s, and the temperatures will continue to warm up as we go throughout the week. We'll talk about it in just a few minutes.
This is WNY News Now with live breaking news.
All right, Dakota, thank you. We start with live breaking news. A 46-year-old Bemis Point woman died in a motor vehicle crash on Route 380 in the town of Stockton this morning. The Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office reports that Stacy Grimes was the operator and sole occupant of the vehicle. She was found deceased when crews arrived on scene. Deputies say Grimes' vehicle was traveling north on Route 380 when it failed to negotiate a curve in the roadway. At that time, the vehicle went off the road and left the side of the roadway and struck a tree. The roadway was closed for around 2.5 hours while the scene was being investigated. The latest on this crash at WNYNewsNow.com.
The city of Jamestown construction contractor, meanwhile, was cited by OSHA for not properly removing asbestos while on a job site. The U.S. Department of Labor says that Rex Harper, who does business as REH Property Maintenance, failed to protect employees from exposure to asbestos while doing work for Superior Steel Door and Trim Company. Labor officials also say Harper did not install proper barriers, ventilation, and enclosures while doing the work. He also reportedly did not clean up and dispose of asbestos materials, launder and transport protective clothing, and implements respiratory protection and asbestos training programs for employees. Harper reportedly faces nearly $170,000 in proposed penalties. Now, OSHA additionally cited Superior Steel Door and Trim Company for failing to determine the presence, location, and quantity of asbestos-containing materials, develop and implement a chemical hazard communication program, and for a fall hazard involving a forklift. Proposed penalties for that group total more than $12,000.
And a city of Jamestown woman allegedly punched a nurse in the face Wednesday evening during an incident at UPMC Chautauqua Hospital. Jamestown police tell us that 23-year-old Shelby Neiman was charged with second-degree assault. She was held at Jamestown City Jail pending arraignment in the case. Now, the nurse reportedly sustained pain and swelling to the face.
The Jamestown Board of Public Utilities is warning local electric customers that scam calls are being made to businesses surged this morning, stating that electric will be shut off if payment isn't made within 20 to 30 minutes of the call. The BPU reminds customers that the utility would not make such calls and that they should not be fooled by such scammers. The BPU accepts payments on their website, in person, or at customer service, and in its drop boxes located at the BPU, as well as Jamestown City Hall and the town of Ellicott. They say they accept phone payments that are only initiated by customers.
Well, a Minnesota-based outdoor store that moved to the former Sam's Club building on Fairmount Avenue have finally opened their doors. Running manager Rob Cimnerella tells WNY News Now that they opened their doors at around 8 a.m. this morning, and around 40 people were outside waiting to get in. Hundreds more than filled in throughout the morning hours. Runnings sells a variety of sporting goods, clothing, footwear, farm supplies, and outdoor equipment. The manager says an official grand opening will take place between October 9th and 13th with special deals and discounts. The store is open Monday through Friday 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., Saturday 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sunday 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. The local operation has provided around 50 new jobs to the area. In total, the company has 45 stores across the nation, employing more than 2,000 people. And let me tell you, Matt, certainly the craze is real. There was a lot of people out there this morning getting a first look at runnings, and it's always interesting to see when you have a former location that was set up as a Sam's Club or whatever it is, right? And a new store comes in, and then they remodel the inside and really make it look different. Certainly the case here. I tell you, just looking around Runnings, I seem to like the things that were there today. They have a lot of different items, whether it be from clothing to sporting goods to hunting to fishing. It looks like really quality stuff. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what continues and then what they have to offer too when it comes time for the grand opening.
Absolutely, Justin. I think I'm going to take a visit up there this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
it should be a good time. And
absolutely.
They got a big parking lot, and they certainly were using it. Hello to everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in here on WNY News Now on this Thursday. Justin Gould and Matt Hummel hanging out. We got to say hello to Renee. Great to see you here. She says, can't wait to go see what Runnings looks like. Good luck to them, but certainly miss the Sam's Club. Joe, good afternoon to you. Jamie, hello. Cindy, Erica, Lori, Andrew. Mike is here. Mike's chiming in. He says, finally I-90 under construction. We broke that story here yesterday. Yeah, they're going to be doing some work there. Starting immediately, according to Seneca officials. They say that it's going to be starting soon, so it'll be really cool to see.
Mr. Norberg makes it sound, if you're watching, Mike, still, have you gone up the 90 today? Have you seen anything?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they're out now.
Yeah.
I know Seneca Nation officials yesterday were telling us that they want to start work today. Obviously, there's logistic things that come along with that. Hello to Cindy. Thank you so much for your kind comments. And Wendy said she got the flyer yesterday, and it looks like a great store with good prices. Hello to Bonnie as well. Thank you all for tuning in here on WNY News Now. Be sure to stay up to date by downloading our mobile app. Just search WNY News Now on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store to follow for breaking updates. Coming up, Governor Andrew Cuomo and his longtime girlfriend announced they've broken up. Details coming up.
But first, Chautauqua County's executive unveils his 2020 tentative budget. Dakota.
And we'll take a live look at the HD News Now cam. You can see the clouds overhead as of noon hour. Right now we're at 62. Healthy west breeze of 12 miles per hour, but those clouds will break apart as we go through the afternoon. We'll talk about it next as WNY News Now continues in a minute, so don't go away.
Live and on demand, you're watching WNY News Now.
I've walked my talk. I've brought officials to meet the community. It should be a government by the people, for the people. I've stood alone to represent the citizens of the city for transparency, accountability, and fiscal responsibility. My values haven't changed. I stand for you. Vote November 5th. Liuzzo for mayor.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
And happening now, Chautauqua County's executive unveiled his 2020 tentative budget last night during the legislature meeting, a spending plan that keeps the tax rate the same but raises the tax levy. Executive George Borrello says the tax levy will see a 2.72% increase. Now, Borrello says the budget started with $1 million deficit due to new unfunded mandates passed by New York State, including the elimination of cash bail and other criminal justice reforms.
Not only will the Senate's cashless bail plan force the release of criminals onto our streets with nothing but an appearance ticket, it will create unnecessary burden on county government. When those accused don't show up for their court dates, our county law enforcement officials are responsible for bringing them in for trial. Sheriff Jim Quattrone has stated that he will need a, quote, warrant squad to accomplish that requirement.
Now, Borrello says in addition to cashless bail, the new rules for discovery will affect the district attorney's office, sheriff's office, and county probation department. Now, despite having the budget with a $6.8 million gap, Borrello says he reduced the amount of undesignated fund balance needed to close the gap only by $1 million. The funds needed to fill that gap are now coming from the county's fund balance. That kind of acts like a savings account. He says even though the levy is going up, the county tax rate remains lower than it was 13 years ago. Borrello also touted success in the county's CART bus service, EMS flycar system, the cleanup of the Chautauqua Lake, and expansion of the county building's parking lot.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo and Food Network star Sandra Lee have broken up after more than a decade of dating. The former couple announced a split with a joint statement issued Wednesday afternoon, with the couple saying their romantic relationship has turned into a, quote, deep friendship. The couple started dating back in 2005 and they never married. And for many years, Lee played the role of New York's First Lady, appearing beside Cuomo at official functions, but largely staying out of state politics. Rumors of a breakup began earlier this year when Lee put the home she shared with Cuomo in the New York City suburbs on the market. Lee owns the home while Cuomo shared the cost of living expenses and taxes. Since then, Cuomo, a Democrat, has spent much of his time in the governor's mansion in Albany.
Well, Juul Labs Incorporated will stop advertising its electronic cigarettes in the United States and replace its chief executive as mysterious breathing illnesses and an explosion in teen vaping have triggered efforts to crack down on the largely unregulated industry. The nation's largest e-cigarette maker and other brands are fighting to survive as the backlash from two public health debacles. Federal and state officials have seized on the recent outbreak of lung illnesses, including 10 reported deaths, to push through regulations designed to curb underage vaping. No major e-cigarette companies, though, have been tied to the ailments, including Juul, which says it won't fight a Trump administration proposal for a sweeping ban on e-cigarette flavors that can appeal to teens. Now, Michigan, New York, and Rhode Island have banned vaping flavors this month, while Massachusetts says it will stop the sale of all vaping products for 4 months, the first such step in the country.
And a new study shows a link between air pollution and psychiatric disorders in children. Researchers found when a pollutant known as PM2.5 was present, more children visited psychiatric emergency rooms. On the same day as pollution spikes, kids more frequently presented symptoms of schizophrenia. Adjustment disorders, suicidal thoughts, depression, and anxiety were more common 1 or 2 days later. And the 5-year study also says children in disadvantaged areas were more susceptible to the effects. PM2.5 is fine particulate matter that can either be naturally occurring from things like dust and ash or man-made from burning fossil fuels. Dirty air has already been linked to mental health problems in adults, but this is the first time children have been studied. The study was published Wednesday in the Environmental Health Perspectives Journal.
Very interesting to see. Always, when you look at these studies, you have to see kind of where the data is coming from. And specifically for this one, looking at children, something that they haven't done before, as you mentioned, will be interesting to kind of see going forward. And I know, like a lot of people, when you look at things like, power and things like manufacturing, which are kind of stereotyped for putting off, deep black smoke into the air. They've really cut down on that in the last 2 decades and more since the early 2000s. So it'll be kind of interesting to see where we go forward as we continue to look towards green yet sustainable options too, and realistic ones. So great report nevertheless. Hello to all of you. Thanks so much for tuning in here on WNY News Now. Justin Gould and Matt Hummel. Good afternoon to David. Thanks so much for being here. Mike saying that the single lane of the eastbound 90 is closed due to construction, so traffic is in one lane. So that's good news because, boy, they've been waiting for that for a long time.
Absolutely.
And as we reported that breaking news right here on the broadcast yesterday. And other big news, too, that the running store is now open, which is very exciting for a lot of people. Hello to Justin. Hopefully you are doing well. Coming up next, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. He's standing by live with a look at our First Defense weather forecast.
And later on, find out what breakfast food is being celebrated nationally today, as News Now continues.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Not tomorrow, but right now on the WNY News Now mobile app. Follow local news as it happens.
Top story, a Forestville man's weather video has gone viral.
And stay informed with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network.
Our Matt Hummel is standing by live outside of Chautauqua County Court with more on this case. Matt, good afternoon to you.
Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Now open in downtown Jamestown, Pearl City Hops, restaurant and tavern.
I have some real old-timey dishes on there that I'm just giving new life to. Like there's a shepherd's pie on there that's going to have some bison in it, real thick hearty gravy. Then I'm also doing beer flights. We're pairing it with a set of sliders, a set of tacos, and a set of mini rolls. So everything's going to have its own pair, so you can get a taste of a little bit of everything and all the beers. We don't want to be known as the restaurant in the hotel. We want to be known as Pearl City Hops.
First Defense Weather, the Southern Tier's only live and local weather source. Now, here's Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
And welcome back. The high yesterday was 73. We bottomed out at 60 degrees. Of course, the morning low is obviously where we were in the morning. 67 is actually the average high for this time of the year, and 87 is the record high set all the way back in the 60s. All right, here's First Defense Doppler radar, and this is pretty much what's left of the rain that which of course has been coming through this morning. It has a projection to the east-northeast, so this is, or should I say to the east-northeast, and that'll be kind of clearing out, and then the afternoon should be mainly dry. We haven't had a whole lot of rain with this either. And again, the Doppler radar estimate is only suggesting about 1/10 of an inch, if that. And this starts last night at just a little after 10:30. And then again, this is Doppler radar estimated rainfall total, so don't always take those to the bank. But again, we haven't had a whole lot of rain. The temperatures continue to be up and down throughout this week. It's down today, they'll be up again tomorrow, but and then they'll actually go down again for a part of the weekend. We have a fantastic Friday heading our way. Lots of sunshine for the day. The weekend will be iffy depending on which day you're looking at. Saturday will be the iffiest of the 2 days, but Sunday should be mainly dry. And the fall colors, they're looking good. Updated fall foliage for you here. It's actually already at peak all the way pretty much up in the Tug Hill. So that's, of course, the place to be right now, nearing peak up there. It's just changing across much of the state, but right down here in the southern tier, this is basically in the eastern portion, of the southern tier going out to Binghamton. There's a little area there where it's nearing peak, but most of the state is just starting to change. Of course, we have to wait for some of the cooler air to filter in at night to get some some of the colors to really start changing. Jamestown game Friday night. Not a whole lot of change in the forecast from yesterday. Just updated the temperature just a little bit. 69 at halftime, down to 67 at the fourth quarter. Jamestown versus Clarence at Clarence. So if you're going to the game, it's going to be a great night for football. Go Red Raiders. All right, let's take a look at the satellite and radar composite. And you can see here cold front just about to move through. Of course, these teeth actually show the direction the front is moving. So the front's basically moving eastward. And you can see this break in the cloud cover across, I'd say, western Lake Erie. See how that's moving in our direction? As this front sweeps on through, it'll also clear out the cloud cover throughout the afternoon. Here's future scan through the day. There goes the rain out of here. Then for the afternoon, mainly dry. Tonight will be dry. I think mostly clear skies. Valley fog will set back up again. We'll fast forward through Friday. Nothing there. This is Friday night going into Saturday. We'll see a chance for a few showers and thunderstorms moving our way Friday night, and then that'll continue throughout the day on Saturday, ultimately tapering off late in the afternoon on Saturday. All right, weather where you are, the zone forecast here. Lake Erie shoreline here. Erie may end the day around 72 degrees. The clouds break apart, leading to a fair afternoon with a good supply of sunshine in most areas. Eastern areas here, Randolph 74, maybe Olean around 62 degrees. A fall-like day after the clouds break apart in the afternoon. Now, what you've been waiting for all day long. The future, next 7 days of your life. 72 on Friday, 75 on Saturday. And again, there's that rain chance on Saturday. And then Sunday, better the 2 days. Cooler though, fall-like, but partial sunshine. Looking good for the Bills game up in Buffalo. Record high for Tuesday is 81 degrees. We have a good shot of tying or breaking that, and the temperatures fall back into the 70s for Wednesday. Sports is next. Don't go away.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news. WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
Happy Thursday, sports fans. We are nearing the end of the work week. Welcome back to WNY News Now. I'm Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. In high school football action, tonight at 7 o'clock, the Maple Grove Red Dragons varsity football team will be on the road for a conference game versus the Pembroke Dragons in a Section 5 8-man football game. In another high school football game will be played tonight is the Jamestown Red Raiders 9th grade team hosting the Lancaster Legends at 6 o'clock. In the world of soccer, the Jamestown Red Raiders JV and varsity girls soccer team will be on the road for conference games against the Orchard Park Quakers tonight, with games at 5:30 for JV and the varsity at 7:30. Tomorrow night with an 8:05 first pitch, the New York Yankees will start their final games of the regular season, a 3-game road trip versus the Texas Rangers. Even with these 3 games left to play, the Yanks have already been crowned AL East champions. Meanwhile, Texas will not be in the postseason this year and will finish the season with a losing record as they are 75-83 right now. Tonight with an 8:20 kickoff, the 3-0 Green Bay Packers will host the 1-2 Philadelphia Eagles for Thursday Night Football. Green Bay is coming off of a 27-16 victory over the Denver Broncos in their last game last Sunday. Meanwhile, Philly to shake off a 27-24 loss to the Detroit Lions in their last game. Tonight's game will be televised on Fox, the NFL Network, and can also be viewed on Amazon Prime. That's it for sports today. Justin and Matt, back to you.
Alrighty, Norm, thank you very much. Well, pancake fans can eat up in celebration today because September 26th is National Pancake Day. And according to the National Day calendar, this breakfast item dates back more than 30,000 years. In fact, they say this may be the oldest breakfast food in history, also known as Johnny cakes, griddle cakes, or hot cakes. But they're all pretty much made the same way. Fry up some batter in little circles, add some butter, pour on the syrup, and enjoy.
That looks like
Absolutely.
good video right there. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of want some pancakes for lunch. So And there's a lot of places that serve pancakes around here. So, and I love it always when they come out and they bring you, like, you order a pancake, right? And it's not like, no offense to the small ones that we all make at home because it's easy for us, but like they're pancakes. Like they're as big as the damn plate. You know what I mean?
Well, my dad always tells the story about how, as a kid, my grandfather used to make these big, gigantic pancakes. I mean, it would literally take up like the entire plate.
Yeah.
I mean, he used to make these big, huge pancakes.
Delish.
I never got a chance to experience them, sadly, but he always talks about it all the time.
Love it. Pancakes and a whole bottle of syrup.
And some powdered sugar. Oh, no, wait, that's waffles. All right, let's take a look at the planner forecast for tomorrow. We start around 47 degrees at around 8 o'clock, warm up into the mid to upper 60s by noon, and we should end the day in the lower 70s. That is, again, above average with lots of sunshine. So if you like the warmth, it is sticking around for a little while longer.
Good to hear, Dakota. Thank you very much. That'll do it for us today. Of course, news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. We're back tomorrow with the TGIF edition, so hold my beer. We leave you with this beautiful shot from downtown Jamestown of the sky here. Seems like the wind's pretty good out there. The clouds are moving pretty quickly. So news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. See you tomorrow.